Thank you, my friends. The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it.
Hello and welcome to the Tungsten Wire. And if you end up enjoying this video, please give us a like. Anyways, today's video is about Zohran Mamdani, who has won the New York City mayoral election, becoming the first Muslim mayor, the first person of South Asian descent, and the youngest mayor in over a century to hold the office in New York City. Democrats elsewhere saw major victories too, which is a real screw you to Donald Trump and the increasingly fascistic turn of the Republican Party. But Mamdani's win isn't just historic in identity terms. It's a direct rebuke to the Democratic establishment. Him winning, his victory, proves there is an appetite for unapologetic progressives. It also exposes the weak, donor-obedient leadership of figures like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, the latter of whom wouldn't even endorse the Democratic nominee. When asked who he voted for, Schumer refused to answer, which tells me he voted for Cuomo, but that's just me. Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton also refused to endorse Mamdani because it would upset their corporate donor base. Meanwhile, everyday people, crushed by the cost of living crisis in New York City, were done with the establishment Democrats who are wildly out of touch. The very voters that Democrats ignore are the ones who put Mamdani in office. Now, predictably, the fascist fanboys are furious. Right-wingers flooded social media to cry about Sharia law coming to New York, which to me is hilarious because elements of it are already here. Muslims get married in accordance with their traditions. The halal food is widely available in supermarkets. And yes, people won't like to hear this, but basic consumer protections like return policies have roots in Islamic jurisprudence. Sharia law's already here, guys. But let's be serious for a moment. Mamdani isn't turning New York into a caliphate. He's a secular Muslim who has consistently stated he will govern for all New Yorkers. Still, the Islamophobes came out in full force with the usual recycled nonsense, especially one word they love to parrot, which is Taqiyya. To be clear, Taqiyya allows Muslims to hide their faith if revealing it would put them in danger. It's a concept rooted in the Shia tradition. Now, roughly 91% of the world's Muslims are not Shia, they're Sunni. And so they do not recognize this concept anyways. Most Muslims haven't even heard the term until some right-wing reactionary on Twitter falsely accuses them of it. Now, what's the problem? You can't prove you're not doing Taqiyya, because the moment you deny it, they claim that that denial is Taqiyya. It's a no-win tactic, and that's exactly why Islamophobes love it. But Mamdani's victory is in the largest Jewish population center outside Israel proves something very important. It proves that there's no real public appetite for Islamophobic fear-mongering. And you can be pro-Palestine. You can be like a staunch supporter of a free Palestine and still win, despite how loudly the far right and Zionist lobby push it or push against it. And here's a question Islamophobes never want to answer, by the way. If Muslims are supposedly some part of this evil global plot to take over the West, why is every elected Muslim in America a progressive? Can you square that hole for me? Now, alongside the bigots, MAGA, diehards, Zionists, and billionaires are also raging. They're all big mad. Many of them are claiming they'll never visit New York again, which, if you ask me, good. Mamdani isn't even sworn in yet, and he's already cleaning up the street. Billionaires spent a combined $22 million trying to stop him. Their fear of paying slightly higher taxes, or hearing the phrase abolish billionaires, sent them into a full-blown panic for some reason. Mamdani even joked on a podcast that they spent more attacking him than he would have taxed them. The truth is, they were never going to flee New York. Many of the same people who threatened to leave are already reaching out to Mamdani, eager to work with him for the so-called betterment of the city. The problem was never that they couldn't live under a Mamdani administration. It's that they knew they wouldn't have free reign anymore. With Mamdani in charge, they'd have to play by the same rules as everyone else. And that's what they truly feared. Will Democrats learn anything from this? Probably not. Let's be honest. The Democratic Party won't learn the right lessons from this because, yes, Mamdani won on a bold, progressive platform, but moderate centrists won too. And party leadership will use that to prove centrism is still the safe path. They'll probably win the 2028 presidential race. Not because voters love them, but because Trump and the GOP have alienated the very demographic groups that gave them the victory in 2024. They won over Latinos over Democrats, but they've lost that support. Now, here's my hot take. Mamdani doesn't win if a Kamala Harris-style candidate is the president. And Kamala would have won in a landslide if she ran on Mamdani-style policies. But corporate Democrats just won't do it because their priority isn't voters, it's their donors. Zohran's win is a major positive step. But as Matt from the Letterhack said, don't turn him into a hero. Not yet. He's done meaningful work, like joining the hunger strike in solidarity with New York taxi drivers. But being a great assemblyman isn't the same as being a transformational mayor. The establishment will fight him every step of the way. He has an uphill battle ahead. Support him loudly, but hold him accountable. If he delivers on the values he campaigned on, the movement should have his back. If he doesn't, the movement should push him. And if the establishment tries to kneecap him, which they will, don't abandon him. Get louder and fight alongside him. But for now I say celebrate. This wasn't just a win for Mamdani. It was a win for working class New Yorkers, for marginalized communities, for progressives, for immigrants, and for everyone sick of politics being controlled by the wealthy. All I can say is good job, New York City. You finally did what so many before you were too afraid to do. You dared to dream of a better tomorrow, which sounds super corny, but it is what it is. Now, I don't have a lot more left to say, so I'm going to leave this with, before I get into rambling too much, thanks for watching. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to head over to thetungstenwire.com and sign up for our Substack too. So without further ado, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and peace be upon you.